when we're asked to sort of change who we were, what we were, it's so challenging. So you can see if you're finding it challenging anyway, because you're having to change, how challenging must it be for the person that you're asking them to change. So it's about accepting people, yes, accepting that this person is this way, but also looking for improvement in both in yourself and in them. So, um, so we arrive to the answer of sleep through the subconscious, not the conscious brain. Because the conscious brain is not actually responsible for your sleep. So no matter how much you knock on the conscious door of sleep and say, you know, do all the rituals, do all the hygiene, and knock on it on the brain and say, you know, you're really bad, why are you not sleeping, what's going on? The brain doesn't understand that sort of language. So we have to speak to it, speak to the subconscious, which understands feelings and emotions and stresses and things like that. So what we're doing is we have to tap into the subconscious, not the conscious part of your brain, because that's not going to, the conscious part is like, I'll do this and then I'll get some sleep. So when we come across stress, because people use the word just stressed, we tend to think, okay, it's just part of their life and part of my life, part of their life. But if somebody reworded that and said to you, I can't cope, I'm overwhelmed, then we would probably listen to them in a different way, and we would actually respond with, how can I help you? And I think that what we have to realise is stress is one of those emergency calls as well. We do need to support people. We do need to ask if there's anything that we can help them with. And also the most important thing for us as a daily basis, because we suffer from stress on a daily basis, we need to look at coping mechanisms. How will I cope today? When I wake up, what can I do for myself that will reduce the stress? So I think it is very much in society that if we don't cope, there's something wrong with us. We're not strong enough. We should be strong, you know, even if it's a man or a woman. There's this idea about you have to be strong, you need to cope on your own. And we have that inbuilt in us. There is age we still have the ability to learn new things and cement them. And the key actually is repetition. So if you repeat something long enough and regularly enough, you actually fire up these neurons in your brain. And these neurons in your brain support the other neurons that are there in your pathways. And what they do is they remind you of what you've done and how you did particular things. So you learn and you keep learning new, fascinating things in your life, which is fantastic for all of us.
Hi guys, this is Mina from Mind Peace. I'm here today to talk to you about thought patterns. So a thought pattern is a pattern that you've got used to thinking in a particular way. So you've either done it since you're a child, or you've just developed it in your adulthood, and you've just got this constant thought that keeps going on in your mind, and it could be serving you really well, which is great. So it could be a really positive thought like, I'm really good at my work, or I'm really good in my relationships. So that will, and the more energy we put into that and more focus we put into that, the bigger that thought develops. And then obviously that's a great feeling, because then after thought patterns we have something called emotional patterns. So the emotion around that feeling could be that I feel really successful, that means I feel happy because I'm happy in my relationships. And then that turns into behavior. So we have thought, it turns into emotion, and then we have a behavior pattern. The behavior pattern for somebody feeling really connected with their family is that they're going to want more connection, so they're going to do even better with their relationships. So you can see how a thought becomes an emotion, and emotion becomes a behavior.
You just have this kind of emptiness inside you, which it sort of transpires that it could be part of loneliness. I mean, I've experienced it myself, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this idea that, yeah, we are amongst people, but we don't feel connected. And that's one of the reasons that we feel lonely, is because we don't actually connect and we're not very present.
So we kind of know what it looks like, and the brain knows what it looks like. And I think that's one of the issues, you see, because we know what it looks like, we're scared to have it and hold it and have to deal with it daily, because we've had a taste of it and we don't like it. And that's where it comes back to that idea that actually it's not about quietening the voice or removing the voice, but it's about listening to it, Why do I feel anxious right now?
Just thinking with the mind. So now we're training it a different way. When we tap into this part of the brain, we are now in the mind thinking processing stage, where these neurals pathways are lighting up in your brain, and they're fired up, and they will unlock why we were stuck in the thought, why the conscious brain is still making a struggle for what we want. And this is where you are mind thinker. You're a mind thinker. You've shifted from a mind thinker, or you've shifted into a mind thinker from a thought thinker. And all successful people are mind thinkers, not thought thinkers, because we would be stuck in that stage. So until you tap into your subconscious, you are not able to discover the new you, or the rather more authentic you. You are stuck between thought and conscious brains, and they're not really serving you. That's the reality as well. So how do we, is it even possible, are we able to even get out of this overthinking? One of the ways we can do it is just to listen to the voice. What is it saying? Is it a cruel voice? Is it being a bully? Or is it being your cheerleader at the moment? If it's a bully, what do you need to do to make that voice into a cheerleader? So it's the one who says, you're fantastic, you can do this, you're great, you've got fantastic relationships, you're great at communicating, you can improve, you can do this, you can get somewhere in your life, and you can keep moving forward, and it's great. Now, what the bully does is it provides us with a lot of evidence that you're going to fail, and so it pushes into failure instead of success for anything. Any overthinking that you're doing, when you're writing it down, you look at it objectively, you still go, oops, I don't think I want to achieve that, or like that, or this isn't going to change for me, and I'm just going to be stuck in this pattern forever and ever. So what we have to do is try to get ourselves out of that kind of counter. So we need to reprogram that, and to see what is the reason behind us saying no to a lot of things that we could really, really benefit from. And one of the ways to do that is to actually meet with a coach, with a mentor, through therapy, through discussion, to shut off that part of the brain, the conscious part of the brain, and go deep into the subconscious and see, what is the reason that I'm behaving like this? What is the reason that I'm feeling I can't achieve that particular task, particular thing I want to do? What is the reason behind it? And it's only done once we tap into the subconscious.